There's a kind of presence that doesn't ask for attention, it commands it. You've seen it before. A woman walks into a room, and without raising her voice, without demanding recognition, something shifts. People notice. Not because she's trying to be seen, but because she simply is. And what makes her unforgettable has nothing to do with perfection, and everything to do with the habits she practices when no one is watching. This is something often echoed in the philosophy of Simon Sinek, that real influence is not about what you say, but how consistently you show up. And the truth is, the most unforgettable women don't rely on words. They rely on presence, discipline, and quiet strength. The first habit is emotional self-control. An unforgettable woman does not react impulsively. She feels deeply, but she chooses her response carefully. In a world where people are quick to argue, quick to defend, quick to explode, she becomes rare. When tension rises, she doesn't lose herself. She listens. She observes. She understands that silence can carry more power than shouting. And because of that, people respect her even more. Her calm isn't weakness, it's control. It shows she owns her emotions instead of being owned by them. The second habit is intentional body language. Before she ever speaks, her posture tells a story. She walks with quiet confidence, not arrogance. Her shoulders are relaxed, her steps are steady, her presence is grounded. She makes eye contact, not to intimidate, but to connect. She doesn't fidget for approval or shrink to fit into spaces that feel too small. Instead, she takes up her space naturally, without apology. And that kind of body language communicates something powerful: I know who I am. People remember that energy, even if they can't explain it. The third habit is self-respect through boundaries. An unforgettable woman doesn't need to explain why she says no. She understands that protecting her time, her peace, and her values is not selfish, it's necessary. She doesn't chase validation, and she doesn't stay where she is not valued. Without raising her voice, without creating drama, she simply removes herself from situations that don't align with her standards. That quiet decision speaks louder than any argument ever could. And it teaches others how to treat her without her having to say a word. The fourth habit is consistency in her actions. Anyone can act impressive once. But what makes someone unforgettable is consistency. She shows up the same way on good days and hard days. She keeps her word. She follows through. She doesn't change her character based on who's watching. And over time, people begin to trust her, not because of what she promises, but because of what she repeatedly does. There's something incredibly powerful about someone who is dependable in a world full of unpredictability. The fifth habit is quiet self-investment. She is always growing, but she doesn't announce it. She reads, she learns, she reflects. She works on herself physically, mentally, and emotionally. Not for attention, not for applause, but because she understands her worth is built in private. While others are seeking recognition, she is building depth. And when she steps into a room, that depth is felt. You can't fake it. You can't rush it. It comes from discipline and self-awareness over time. What makes these habits so powerful is that none of them require words. They are lived. They are felt. And they create a presence that people remember long after the moment is gone. An unforgettable woman doesn't beg to be noticed. She doesn't compete for attention. She doesn't try to prove her value. Instead, she embodies it. In the way she walks. In the way she handles pressure. In the way she chooses peace over chaos. And in the way she respects herself, even when no one else is watching. And here's the truth, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Because the women who leave the deepest impressions are not the loudest in the room. They are the most grounded. The most self-aware. The most disciplined. Think about it, people forget words all the time. They forget conversations. They forget explanations. But they never forget how someone made them feel. And that feeling doesn't come from speeches. It comes from presence. So if you want to become unforgettable, don't focus on saying more. Focus on becoming more. Build emotional control so your reactions don't control you. Carry yourself with quiet confidence so your presence speaks before you do. Set boundaries so your self-respect becomes non-negotiable. Stay consistent so your actions build trust. And invest in yourself so your growth becomes undeniable. Because in the end, the most powerful statement you can make is the life you live without needing to explain it.